Faith 180. You take your faith and you turn it around. Faith 180. Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to Faith 180, the podcast where faith and mental health collide. I am one of your hosts. Wow, that was the collision happening in real time, people. I am one of your hosts, Tom Hazelton, and joining me, as always, is Mr. Jordan Hamilton.
Greetings, folks.
Here we are with the folks. So we're coming at you for a special Thursday episode. We are going to be back next Friday for a regular, normal Faith 180 episode. But this week we're doing something a little differently. And why are we doing something a little differently, Jordan?
We are doing something a little differently because Friday the clocks go back.
No, they don't. It's Saturday.
Just kidding. We are showing The Blind at the Yarmouth Wesleyan Church Friday night, October the 27th at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. And you can still get your tickets at faith180.ca. And because we're doing that, we're dropping a special episode just to kind of talk about the movie a little bit, preface it a little bit, and hopefully create a little bit of excitement. I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either. And yeah, you've been pretty pumped for this. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I grew up watching Duck Dynasty. I thought, it had a great comedic effect, and it also resembled a lot of like other small towns. We're both from a small town, and the shenanigans that they got up to, aren't a far stretch from reality. So I just really connected with that show, more particularly Uncle Si. I think everybody did. I had a tea glass that I bought from their website, a souvenir tea glass. I just always thought the show was funny. Everybody has that weird uncle. Every town has basically every character in that show, and it's just so easy to relate with, and that's why, I thought it was easy watching growing up, considering, the other options on television. Yeah, when I don't even remember, Tom, when I heard that this movie existed, but let me start by saying when the show ended, that is when I stopped following the family generally, and not being on social media. I don't really see things get shared. So I can't even tell you how this came about. I think it was a video on my YouTube playlist of their podcast, The Duck Call Room. I listened to it, and yeah, that's probably makes the most sense. Was hearing them kind of promote it in the Duck Call Room. And one of the things that struck me and was that, hey, this wasn't going to be shown nationally, let alone internationally. They were in, I believe, 1,500 theaters at the start of this.
So I actually have some facts about the movie. So yeah. I compiled this morning before jumping on here. So I'm just going to read these off, and then we'll continue the conversation. So this is just a quick overhead about the movie The Blind. So The Blind was directed by Andrew Hyatt and co-written by Stephanie Katz, and it portrays the early life of Duck commanders Phil and Kay Robertson and their family before their Duck Dynasty fame. It was filmed in Shreveport, Louisiana in early 2022, and the movie had Corey Robertson as a producer and Willie Robertson as an executive producer. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's Phil Robertson's son and daughter-in-law?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Willie is Phil's son. Corey is the daughter-in-law. So that lends itself to the fact that this was independently produced film. It's not a Hollywood film. And when I heard it wasn't coming to any of our theaters, I thought, hey, I wonder if we could get this movie here.
On its opening day, the film earned $844,783, and it was shown in 1,715 theaters, eventually debuting at $4.1 million and finishing in 6th place. In the second weekend, despite losing 401 theaters, it grossed $4 million, a 12.9% increase, and placed 5th. The movie has had some mixed reviews, with film critic Roger Moore, not the James Bond actor, of Movie Nation giving it a 1.5 out of 4, remarking, whatever potential it had, the film just isn't very good with or without fact-checking. However, Mike McGranahan of the Aisle Seat was more positive, rating it a 3 out of 4, saying Phil Robertson fans will certainly connect with it, and viewers less familiar with the man may also enjoy it for the insights into its widespread appeal. Avi Offer, who's a New York City movie guru, described it as a genuinely heartfelt, honest, and inspirational emotional journey well worth taking. The film currently holds a 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, and Rotten Tomatoes has an amazing score of 98%. So Willie Robertson has commented on the success of the movie, saying, "The response has been phenomenal. Stories are starting to pour in of standing ovations and baptisms and post-movie gatherings all over the country. We feel with our limited theaters and hardly any push from mainstream media, we are doing great. It's been a real grassroots effort from everyday people who are getting the word out that The Blind is an inspirational message of hope. It's awesome that so many people are coming out to theaters to see this incredible redemption story. We're grateful that thousands are leaving theaters with renewed hope and a sense that it's not too late to turn their lives around. We've been floored with stories of people watching The Blind and realizing their marriages and their children aren't beyond hope. I want everyone to know what that's like. Everyone loves a good origin story and a great redemption story. This one's got it all. Action, drama, love, ducks. If not for what happens in this movie, my life would look completely different. My parents are living proof of the power of the gospel. With Jesus, anyone can change." And that was Willie Robertson himself.
So while you were reading that, Tom, I looked up like total number of cinema sites in the United States because, you know, you can say it was in 1700 and somebody might assume, hey, that's probably all of them. In 2020, there were 5,800 cinema sites in the United States. So they were in what?
That's a fifth.
Yeah. It's probably a little more than that.
Yeah.
Probably a fourth.
For the sake of rounding, we'll say a fifth.
Yeah. For the sake of maths. So they weren't they were only in a small percentage to begin with. And then they lost, 400 or so, Tom?
Yeah, 401 in the second week.
Yeah. The thing for me is like, I remember after I discovered the movie and we reached out and found out we could host it, I just remember then going to, the family did a podcast about it where they kind of tell all. And it's very interesting. I recommend it either before or after the movie to just take a listen. But there's one clip in here where Uncle Si is talking about, you know, his brother and him hitting rock bottom. And, you know, I thought it'd be cool if we just listen to that real quick.
So there were a lot of tears in the movie, but some of these tears we didn't see were Uncle Si, because you showed up looking pretty spiffy last night. We had some bling bling, some sunglasses on. So you had a little bit of a poker face on, but what were your thoughts of the movie last night?
It was powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, when people first asked me about it, so I said, well, I kind of choked up and I said, look, that's my brother you're talking about. I said, how would you like to show the world in living color everything you've done wrong?
It was embarrassing.
But we've all been there. That's why I tell you, hey, you're not by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? Because when you was beating the ground and screaming in the movie, I remember exactly when that happened to me. I had got to my lowest point in life and just, what do you do? Who do you turn to? Well, you turn to Jesus. You know, and by the grace of God, okay, you know, he fixes everything.
As you can hear in the clip, you know, he says we've all been there. We've all hit rock bottom, and through Jesus, things can change. And that is exactly what Faith 180 has been about. It's about realizing that there's more to Jesus than just not wanting to go to hell. He wants to have a relationship with us. And when I heard that, I just felt compelled to, you know, bring that movie here. I thought that's a message that people need to hear. You know, Phil had some problems, and, you know, I'm not going to speak to them because I don't know them in detail. We're going to find out Friday when we watch the movie. But what I can tell you is that from a distance, they don't look like they were easy problems. And he hit rock bottom and did a Faith 180, and we're hopefully going to see a redemption story on Friday.
You had sent me that clip from the podcast. What is it? The Duck Control Room? Is that what it's called?
The Duck Call Room.
The Duck Call Room, sorry. You had sent me that clip just after we had recorded our pilot episode, and you were just like, hey, they listened to our podcast. You said it half jokingly, just strictly because the message was just so similar that no matter how far gone you are, there's always redemption. You just have to want it, and you just have to ask for it.
Yep. I mean, the Duck Call Room is like a really, it's maybe the content isn't for everybody. They talk about hunting a bit, but I predominantly enjoy like the when they read scripture and read testimonies from other people. I just find that's encouraging, and that's the type of environment I hope we can create and kind of follow their lead in that you can have a space to talk, and it can involve Jesus and Christianity. At
the end of the day, I think I can speak for both of us and say, the decision to bring the movie, because you had came to me and said, hey, we're showing this movie. And at first I was kind of like, well, I don't really know too much about what's going on. I mean, I've heard some scandal that happened a couple of years ago, and we're not going to go too deep into that. But at the end of the day, I think we can both agree that the decision to bring this movie, we're hoping to provide some diverse content to engage a wide audience. And, the inclusion of various perspectives in the film, that can stimulate, some discussions as well as critical thinking. And I think that's really what it boils down to, is we're strictly showing a movie about a redemption story, and just no matter how far gone you are, he's always there. Yeah, no, I would agree with that sentiment completely. And,
I think that sometimes we can get lost in the noise, and I just want to focus on the fact that Jesus does forgive, and that's a story that I think a lot of people need to hear. They might not realize it, and that's the message we're trying to send.
And everybody is worthy of God's grace, whether you agree with their personal political views, what have you. Like, everyone is worthy of his grace. Yeah. And that's what it boils down to.
We say it at the end of every podcast as we're going out, and it's true.
It very much is true. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this movie. I'm excited to have a group of people all together to watch this. We've both put the Faith 180 name on this, Faith 180 Presents. It's really you've put a lot of legwork into this. You're the one who really did all the reaching out. So thank you for letting me piggyback on that. But I'm really excited to be a part of this and be a part of something that people are coming out for.
Yeah. Get there when you can. And we're going to have popcorn and, a few different types of soda. It's, we're not going to be able to buy every type. But we'll certainly have something there for everybody. Water at the least. And come on out. If you need tickets, we'll have some available at the door. They are first come, first serve, and 16 Canadian dollars. So if you do need to buy door tickets, there'll be a few left. We do encourage you to get on there, buy them at faith180.ca. And there's a link there that'll take you to the page to buy the tickets. We don't get any revenue from the ticket sales. That goes right back to the production of the film. And that's taken care of by a third party. So we do encourage you to go there, get your tickets. And I want us to thank our sponsors because they were huge in helping us get this thing going. And I think we're going to have a great night, Tom. So why don't you thank our sponsors for us?
We just want to give a quick thank you to Pleasant Supplies, Roymar Builders, which is your old man.
My old man.
As well as Yarmouth Mazda. Guys, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. There are some expenses involved in hosting this, and because of their generosity, all those are covered. And as well, whatever we bring in terms of donations, because we are doing popcorn as well as, the the selection of soda, as you so said. That's going to be by donation, and we are in turn going to turn around and donate that money to a worthy cause.
Yep, we're donating that to the Shift House in Yarmouth, and I do just want to, briefly touch on what they do. They provide temporary housing for homeless youth, and anybody in the ages of 16 to 24. And they have programs, workshops, outreach services, like counseling, washroom access, laundry, and kitchen facilities. This is, a program that we think is going to impact the, positive mental health of this community. And that's why, anything above and beyond our expenses, we're going to donate to the Shift House.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's awesome that we have this ability to be able to do it. So again, thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to everybody who has purchased a ticket or will show up. It's going to be a fun night, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it as well, Tom. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, share it with your friends. Check out faith180.ca for some of the latest episodes. Send us an email,
Rumor has it is that there will be a special video that will be played.
Yes.
And if you're not there to see it in person, I will make sure it's uploaded to Facebook as well as our YouTube channel. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Don't say that. We might sell more tickets if we exclusively show it the night of the event.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be lost media.
True. Very true. It's Fun Fact Friday.
But I'm reading the fun fact this week. What would you say is the most read and best-selling book in the world?
I'm going to say the 1997 NHL Beckett.
You are close. It is actually the Bible.
That was my second guess.
So the Bible sells 100 million copies annually. Not only that, but it's also available for free through various websites and phone apps. Ironically, although despite being so widely available for free and, for a small price because some Bibles aren't that expensive, and one of the 10 commandments being, thou shalt not steal, the Bible is the most stolen book in the world. Bibles are regularly taken from hotels, hospitals, bookstores, and other locations.
If only the people would read them.
Right. Right.
They're stealing Bibles. Well, they could at least read it.
And that was your fun fact for Thursday.
That was fun. Yeah. Fun Fact Thursday. All right, Tom, why don't you take us home with the Faith 180 jingle since we're in the singing mood?
Well, how about instead of singing it, I just recite it. Are you ready? Faith 180. You take your faith and you turn it around. Faith 180.
Faith 180.
Yeah.
You take your faith and you turn it around. Faith 180. I'm not gonna let the fans down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Faith 180 is an independent podcast featuring, produced, and edited by Thomas Hazelton and Jordan Hamilton. Got a question, suggestion, or a story of your own Faith 180? Email faith180crew@gmail.com. Faith 180 is available everywhere you get your podcasts. Don't forget to leave a review and turn on notifications for when a new episode goes live. Thank you for listening, and remember, you are worthy of God's grace.